What's up? My name is Colby Sharp. I am a 5th grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where we try to help kids fall in love with reading. And today I have something super fun to share. My students participated in a pilot for the, reading website Bookalicious, and I'll put a link to this in the description if you want to check it out more. And Bookalicious is, it feels kind of like a Goodreads for kids. They get to create an account through their teacher, and they can create a to-read list, which we used it a lot for, and the kids were able to build those lists. And we also, they can create these cool little Bitmojis, which is, I don't know, you probably saw those Google Classrooms slides that teachers were creating at the beginning of the pandemic for their online classrooms. And they can just create this human and give it a pat, and if they were into sports, a ball or instrument if they're into that, and hats and jerseys, and it was super fun. And it was cool because as they were creating these bookmojis, they got to different books were suggested on them based on their interests. It was pretty cool. And then they would add those books to their to-read list if they liked them, and they would go down these rabbit holes about different books like we do as readers when we're on different sites. So it kind of felt little good reads for kids. That was super fun. And through the organization Bring Me a Book, we received a grant to purchase. You can purchase books on Bookalicious. Kids can. You could do book fair, like a pop-up shop, or kids could just buy them if they're interested. Don't have to at all. Through Bring Me a Book, my students all got to buy 2 books. Every single student in my class got to pick 2 books. And I am giving them these books this week, the last week of school, to take home and hopefully get them off to an amazing start to some reading. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, showing you the books that my students picked using the Bookalicious website in our pop-up shop to take home and own and increase their book access. And my heart is so happy and so thankful that we got to do this. So we'll start here with, and I just have them in little stacks of 2 on this table in front of me. So each stack that I show you will be one kid. So this kid picked Sugar and Spite, which I had never read or mentioned, but they saw it on the site and liked it. And My Life as a Meme. This book was selected 2 or 3 times. And what I noticed was this was one of the books that was on the main page when they logged in. And I don't know if you've been around with kids, but meme culture, the meme life is pretty interesting right now. They're all into it. So I love this series. My Life as a Book, My Life as a YouTuber, My Life as a Ninja, all kinds of awesome books. So super excited for them to get this. I actually bought this book myself from Bookalicious. So first kid, Sugar and Spite, and this looks like a really awesome, can a dash of magic turn a bully into a bestie? Those are the kinds of things 5th graders are dealing with as they get ready to head to middle school. So excited about that. Next up, this is an interesting combination. Raina Telgemeier's drama and Lost in New York City, a subway adventure. And I've never heard of this book. I don't think the kid had either, but they saw it on the website. They were able to kind of look through it a little bit, read about it, and then they picked it. So this kid's into comics. This book actually has 6-star reviews. I probably should have read it. Yikes. And of course, Raina's drama. Right. The rereadability in Raina's books is awesome. Another, My Life as a Meme. Right, you can't go wrong there. And I Survived. The I Survived California Wildfires. And this might be one that I'm missing in my classroom library. And so I think that they jumped all over it. I know a lot of kids were looking through the I Survived books to see if there were any on Bookalicious that we didn't have in our classroom. So that's fun. Next up, Doodleville. Cardboard Kingdom. Chad's Cardboard Kingdom is really starting to take off in my classroom, and it's really exciting to see a kid take an author that they liked and on the Bookalicious site look at other books by that author and get Chad's Doodleville. So that's exciting. And there's a new Cardboard Kingdom coming out. Hooray. And then, like that, I can't read that on my screen. Hansel and Gretel, Neil Gaiman, Lorenzo Matodi. This looks fun. So I haven't read this Neil Gaiman book, but oh boy, this kid, yeah, I know this kid, he's gonna dig this. So comic, little kind of creepy retelling of a fairy tale, looks like. All right, and then we actually have 3 kids, 3 friends who went with the exact same combination. Alan Gratz, Code of Honor, and Allies. And what I love about that so much is that one of the kids in my class read Alan's Ground Zero and loved it, and then was talking to all his friends about it, and then they started reading it. And then when they had this chance to all buy 2 books, they all were talking together and trying to figure out which books to buy, which Alan Gratz books to buy. And they were looking all over Bookalicious, and then they came to me and said, which one do you recommend? And then I said, oh, I've read this, this, and this one. And then we went to Alan's website and we watched some videos and him talking about the books, and that's what they settled on. So I just love it. I love seeing one kid reading a book, and that all started from me reading Ground Zero and book talking it in my classroom. So me, teacher, reader, book talker, ended up kid falling in love with a new author, and then that kid in his community of readers spread it all around, and that's what it's all about. That is just so awesome. I'm so pumped about that. Let's go. Next up, a kid in my class, Crossover, which has been super popular with tons of kids, and she, I guess she really is getting into basketball, which is wild because she never plays basketball with us, but looks like she's interested in basketball books. So here we go. I love it. And like, this isn't a book that we have in our classroom, but maybe I'm wondering too, if like part of her bookmoji, if this was something that was suggested to her. I don't know. A couple of ball and books. Let's go. This kid, 2 baseball books. I do not have either one of these books in my classroom. So that's fun. It's just so cool to see their interest come out and to see, like, we have lots of books for them to read in class, but to see like when they are given an opportunity to purchase 2 books, they have pretty much every book on this site, to see what they're picking. So super fun. All right, next up, this was a popular one. Click. Probably seen this in camp. I think someone else selected as well. And The House at the End of the Road. I don't know this one, but I love the cover. I love the creepiness. It's really fun to me that a handful of kids picked a picture book. A handful of middle schoolers picked a picture book. So it's kind of looks pretty fun. Kids are awesome. All right. Next up, The New Kid, which has been very popular in my class, and Night Books. I'm really curious. I might ask this kid tomorrow how he discovered this book and what made him pick this book, because it's not a book that we have. I don't think we have any books by this author in my class, but it looks really great. So I'm just curious of how he found this book. I'm always curious about that, right? Like, how do they find, like, you see them at Scholastic. I don't know about you, but if we have like a Scholastic book fair, I'm just like watching them. Just like trying to see like where their eyes go, what they decide, what they say to each other. Whew. It's so hot. So I'm filming this the last week of school, and it's honestly at least 85 degrees in my classroom. Like, we were struggling in the afternoon, and I am done. Whew. All right, here we go. A few more books. Oh, actually about half. Right, like this kid just got wanted the Babysitter Club books. I think she's got a bunch of them, and she was just able to get the ones that she wanted. Sorry, my phone battery is dying there. Babysitter's Club, I love it. Oh, this was a super interesting decision by this student, this young scholar. He picked Kid Chef Bakes and the complete baking books for young chefs. I don't have any cookbooks. I used to have them, but they're gone. Maybe that means that kids really want kid cookbooks, and then those books get legs and they walk off. So that's super interesting to me. Like, these are like some serious baking books. Like, this kid had a plan. He's going to be cooking some food. I'll have to see if he can make me something over the summer. I love that though. But Minecraft, popular, like this kid, right? Like, he's into the games, book adaptations of the games, Plants vs. Zombies, Minecraft the Island. That's fun. I don't have Minecraft the Island, but I've had some kids like that in the past. Next up, a new graphic novel that I hadn't seen, so I'm really curious. It's called Primer. If she was able to was like searching graphic novels and this came up, that's because she also had Camp Average, which is another book that I don't really know. So this is another student that I'm going to be talking to tomorrow about her choices, because that kind of stuff is so intriguing to me, like how they decide and what they decided, and if they decided these books because we have holes in our classroom library of certain books that they're looking for, or if other books that they've read in my class led them to thinking about these books. So much to learn. So this was a fun choice. It's not one that I would have expected, right? Just Dance, Patricia McLaughlin, and Spy School. Let's be honest, Stuart Gibbs, the covers that he gets and the amazing writing that he does, like, how can you not want to pick that book? Spy School, love it. Next up, this kid went Percy Jackson, 2 graphic novel books from Percy Jackson. I thought that was a brilliant move. Brilliant move. Yeah. So I haven't had these in my classroom in a while. Like, I bought them right when they first came out, but then I kind of forgot about them. So we'll have to see what he thinks and maybe get back on the train. The newest Hilo, newest Dog Man, smart kid, right? I know that this kid has read these during the school year, but now this kid, he loved them so much he wanted to own them. Like, that makes my teacher reader heart so happy. Like, some of these kids were looking for new books, but some of these kids were also looking for books that they absolutely loved in class, and they wanted to be books that they owned. That is an important thing to think about, books that they own. Next up, Katie the Cat Sitter. If you haven't seen this 2021 graphic novel, it's taken the class by storm. I haven't had a chance to read it because just a different kids reading it all the time. So I'm excited to maybe this summer get a chance to read it. And Cabin Fever, always interesting. Like, if a kid's gonna like randomly pick a wimpy kid book, like book 6, Cabin Fever. Like, don't you wonder, like, do they have other ones? Does something about that one touch their heart? Is this like the one that they hadn't read? I don't know. Can't wait to give them these books tomorrow. Let's go. Camp, we saw a clip earlier, right? Yes, somewhere in here. This is a great series. And then The Pants Project. The Pants Project, humorous, and reminds readers that being just like everyone else isn't all it's cracked up to be. I don't know this book. Looks like a book I should know. I don't know. Exciting. All right, we have like 4 more kids, 2 wimpy kids. Now they're curious, like, gotta have the first one. One with the 3rd wheel, the 7th one. Like, why? Why not the 2nd one? Why not the 12th one? Why not the 8th one? Gotta know. I gotta know these things. Next up, Share Your Smile, which I love, like, because this book might inspire her to write her own comics this summer and tell her own story. And I know this kid has an amazing story to tell, so I'm hoping that that's what it is. And then No More Plastic. Kids really care about the earth. I wish we cared about the earth as much as they do. And not only do kids care about the earth, but like, we need people to care about the earth. So like, kids reading, like kids like are the ones picking books to care about the earth. Just makes my heart happy. This is another book that was featured on the main page one of the days we were ordering books. So that kind of stuff matters. Like, the books that are put in front of our kids. It's an interesting thing to think about. No More Plastic. All right. 2 more kids. Another copy of Click. And Catching Confidence. This girl is all about softball. And she's very adamant that she wanted a softball book. We don't have any softball books. Mr. Sharp, fail. I need to get some books about softball, like some fictional stories about softball. So I might have to talk to her about that one, see if she likes it. Finally, Riley Jefferson's awesome, friendly, spooky stories. This book is hilarious. I read some of these stories aloud to my kids. They're so funny. And Rowley, through Jeff's pen, is such an amazing character and a great storyteller. And then WWE Superstar Handbooks, the essential facts and stats on more than 300 WWE superstars. Let's go! So these are books that my students picked when they were able to pick any 2 books that they wanted. I hope that it kicks their summer reading off great. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome-tastic day. Thank you for watching.